Today I'll be talking about how the month of April went, as well as the goals for the month of May. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Andrea and I'm a homeschooling mom of an 8-year-old who is finishing second grade, also year 2 on Ambleside online. This will be the first video that will kickstart a new playlist here on my channel, and it will be a playlist where I will be saving all the videos about next month's goals and a recap from the previous month. So we'll start with the recap of the month of April. And there is lots of things. I have some notes here. The first thing I need to talk about is how challenging the month of April has been. Today is April 30th, so it's the perfect day to be recording this video. Hopefully I'll be able to get it out for you guys this week still. April has been a very challenging month because my daughter has been dealing with some serious gut issues. So we've been going to doctor's appointment and doing treatments, and her not feeling well. Surprisingly enough, with all the ups and downs, and because she was a little bit ahead, we ended up catching up on a lot of the readings. And we just finished the homeschool for today, and we are currently on starting week 32. So what have I done? What have I done to adapt and to be able to still complete the school year in May, because I think everyone deserves a break. And also we will be starting school in July. After the holiday, after the 4th of July holiday, I think we start the following Monday. So that would be July 12th, if I'm not mistaken. So in order for us to keep up with the schedule of the summer break schedule, we have to finish Ambleside online. So we're not doing that during the summer break. So I decided to cut out something. I cut out Burgess Animal. You can see here, I crossed it from week 30. And we are 5 weeks away from completing Ambleside online. We have 3 weeks to go before we need to be done. So we're in good shape. We're definitely going to finish as long as we keep doing 2 readings a day. We only have 5 readings a day. Easy. In 2 days and a half, we can complete 1 week worth of the readings of Ambleside online. I also scratched out meditation and the nature calendar because it was just one more thing to do, one more item to check, and we have too many items to check, and I will not be adding anything that's not absolutely necessary. My daughter can learn meditation later on her own. Maybe I can encourage her at some point. Maybe we can start a meditation practice together, but right now it's just not the season. So, and it is okay. The nature calendar, it seemed like such a good idea, but every day my daughter, she was not looking forward to it. It was a drag, and it was one more thing for me to be reinforcing. And honestly, I have to pick my battles. She takes science, marine biology lessons weekly throughout school, and that's plenty science plus all the time we spend outside here at our orchard, all the beach times, all the forest time that she spends when she's at her dad's house. He lives basically in a forest. So there's like so much science that's happening all the time in her life that I don't feel like I need to add one more item to check off of the list. My daughter completed Singapore Math Level 2 this month of April, and we immediately jumped into The Good and the Beautiful 3. And I don't know if it's because my daughter wasn't feeling too well with her gut problems, and maybe it's a new curriculum, maybe it's the same problem that we had before. I don't know, but there has been tears, complaining, and it felt like complete deja vu. And I'm like, no way, I can't believe I'm back here. I cannot believe I gave in and I let her talk me into going back to The Good and the Beautiful, if that's what it's going to look like. But, I am giving this whole new beginning the benefit of the doubt, because it's different circumstances where we are trying to get all this work done and also moving ahead into the next grade when she's not quite there yet. Although she's fully capable of being there. I think for her, it just feels overwhelming. So since we decided just to kind of like slow down, not completely move towards third grade while she's still finishing up second grade, we're just going to respect and follow the school years. There's no reason or need for her to be way ahead. I think it's so easy, right, to just get FOMO when you see that other kids that are homeschooled are just moving ahead and they're like about to start fourth grade when they're all still in second grade. And then I realized that not everybody is doing Ambleside Online. And if you are doing Ambleside Online, most likely your child is not going to be 2-3 grades ahead. Unless they're gifted. My daughter's not gifted in math, and that is okay. That is okay. So what I decided to do for math moving forward was to get some Kumon, back to basics. That's where we started. Pre-kindergarten, I guess, we were doing just some Kumon lessons at home, and she really loved numbers back then. And we just got some Kumon for second grade, first grade and second grade, for her to review the basics and just have fun, have a little bit of fun, feel like she's winning. So she's really quickly working through the end of the first grade book that we had here, that she didn't use it. And then over the summer, she would just keep doing a little bit, just a page or two, 5-10 minutes of a little bit of math, just so we don't completely just abandon math and then start the new year, third grade. And then I don't want to deal with that. So we're going to make sure that there's no summer sliding happening. And she's also doing Life of Fred. So she's reading Life of Fred, doing the practices at the end of each chapter, and Kumon daily on her school days. So other changes that we have made, we decided to make this month of April, was to cut back on the extracurricular activities because she was overwhelmed. There was too much going on pretty much every day. She had something that she had to do in the afternoon, and she was doubling up because she decided to start gymnastics. And I feel like we didn't do a good job at managing her once. Just because she wants to do things and just because she is privileged enough to do things, it doesn't mean that she should do it. And I do believe that all of this just added up to her not being well. She just had too much on her plate, and it's just not healthy for an 8-year-old to have activities every single day, which left her with not a lot of free time. So not healthy. We cut it all back. We had to make some hard decisions. I had to pull her out of her piano class because that was too much for both of us. It requires parent participation, which I have no background in music. She's at a level now on year 3 that I cannot follow. I just don't have what it takes, and I'm not interested at this point in learning and dedicating myself to teaching her something that I have no background in. So I decided that we're just gonna pause with that. She hasn't gone to class for the last 2 weeks, and I just literally just emailed her teacher telling her that we're taking a break from that, and we'll probably look into 101 music lessons for the next school year. We're just gonna take a break from here on out. Music, just Hoffman Academy, if she wants to do it. We do have the membership. We've had it just so she can practice whenever, and she enjoys that, so she can keep doing that. I just have too much on my plate as far as foreign language, Ambleside Online, math, language arts. It's a lot. So deciding what stays and what goes is important, and that's what I have done this month of April. There has been lots of meetings and conversations with both my daughter's dad and my husband, and that's where we're at. We started doing a family Bible study this last month. We actually started yesterday. So on Wednesdays, we will be doing a Bible study here with my husband. And I've also invited some of our homeschooling families who have kids Emma's age. And they're invited and they're welcome to show up. They said next week they're gonna come. So we'll see if we end up creating a little Bible study group here at my house. If not a Bible study with other people, definitely a Bible study with just our family. And we are using the Child's Story Bible by Catherine F. Vos. That's where we're going to be reading through that from the beginning, and I don't know how long it's going to take doing it once a week. It may take a couple of years, but we'll see how it goes. She's young enough that I like those Bible stories rather than doing a very, let's just study the Bible, the Old Testament specifically, although we are reading still story Bibles for Old Testament on our daily school, where my daughter is just reading from a Brazilian kind of like it's a book that has 365 stories, so it's one story a day, so she practices her reading in Portuguese. As far as my own personal faith and spirituality, I am stronger than ever in my quest for learning about the scriptures, and I am doing the Bible in a Year podcast with Father Mike Schmitz. If you guys don't know, I am Catholic, and my faith in the Catholic Church has deepened in recent times, and I am actually very excited about that, and studying and asking questions and trying to run away from bias. So I'm seeking for truth, and I am looking on both sides of Christianity, and I'm studying. So I'm excited about that. We, on a relational level, my husband and I have been having weekly meetings. This is something that it's necessary. We need to sit down. We need to talk about the house. We need to talk about the kids. We need to talk about finances. We need to talk about us. We need to connect, have quality time, and we have been doing a good job at getting together and taking little times. Yesterday we went on an impromptuous lunch date before the DMV. He just went with me, accompanied me to the DMV. Now, talking about fitness and health, I have a pretty strong background focusing on my health and my fitness level. And over the last couple of years, it has been a challenge with perimenopause. This is a subject for a whole new video, but you guys, I've pretty much hit menopause twice. Last time was 10 months without a period, and then I got a period. And so I've been dealing with this perimenopause, all kinds of things. My body's been changing, and I decided to go back to basics. Since coming back from Brazil, I did really good while I was in Brazil. I was in really great shape, and then I came back home, and things were just not the same back here. It's been hard to get into a rhythm, and working out from home also it hasn't been for me in this season of life. It's worked for me for many years, but in this season of life, it has been a little challenging. I think it's because I'm bored of the program I was following. So I decided to, this past week, just get back to basics, just do some basic exercises that I did at home. And like, you know what, I'm just going to do that. It's going to be 15-20 minutes a day, and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to keep every 2-3 days of workout, 1 day off, 2-3 days of workout, 1 day off, and just make sure my body's good and I'm healthy and I'm not triggering cortisol, spiking cortisol levels, which I feel like this was happening to me. I'll report back next month to see how that's going for me. Self-care routine and a morning routine. I can actually probably do a day in a life video, just showing you guys what my morning routine is, because I do pretty much everything. I take care of me, and then I'm ready to serve my family. That's what works for me, and I've been good about getting that done. And some days better than others. Some days not all of it has been tackled before homeschool, but that's the goal. The goal is to be able to do that. Now, my goals, speaking of goals, my goals for the month of May is to end the year before we go to Colorado. That's what I want to do. One of my goals is to be able to say, we completed year 2 of Ambleside Online, and we completed all the curricula for 2nd grade by May 20th. So that's the goal. A personal goal is to stay focused on my health and fitness. I really want to make sure that I am taking care of myself so I can be my best self and show up for my family with my tank filled. Another personal goal is to be consistent at posting weekly here on YouTube, and I would like Wednesday to be my date. This week didn't work, but the last couple weeks I have been consistent. The last few weeks, this past month, I have been consistent at posting every week. On a relational level, I would like to continue with the meetings with my husband, as well as having at least, he loves to have date nights and going out to eat, but there is the financial goal, which is I am trying to accomplish some things. We are trying to accomplish some things, and I am kind of leading this one in, living below our means or spending less than we have been spending. And I would like to have at least one date night a month. Although guaranteed, we go out for breakfast. We do that after church on Sundays, and once in a while we may go out for some lunch date just because we can, and because he's around, and that doesn't happen very often during the week, and he just likes to be spontaneous like that. So it's finding that balance between achieving our financial goals and also having fun and being spontaneous in our marriage, which for my husband is a must. He really needs that. On a spiritual level, I would like to go to church actually this Saturday and confess my sins. I haven't done that in more than 20 years, although I confess my sins to God all the time. I speak with Jesus all the time. I talk to my husband. I own up my mistakes and the things that I do. I'm always speaking out loud those things that I do. I feel like I've been feeling a pull to go and do a confession with a priest at a Catholic church. So I have that on the calendar. I will be doing that this coming Saturday. And also I want to look into baptizing my daughter. I think it was Matthew this past month, where we started Matthew, and John the Baptist talks about baptizing Jesus, and then my daughter started saying, well, I want to be baptized. My goal is to research and make sure that I have everything that I need to baptize her. For May, we also have this trip to Colorado that we'll be doing, so there's not a lot of planning required for this because my husband actually already took care of everything, flights and Airbnb that we're going to be staying there. Maybe plan a couple of things to do while we're there. I know our son wants to go fishing one of the days, and maybe do a little sightseeing, and I should probably do a little planning on that. So my goal for May is also to plan a little bit for that. And I think that is all of my goals for the month of May. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. This was a much chattier video than I normally put out. Thank you so much for being here. If you got all the way to the end, please always remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.